Today is June 25th, and you're listening to Radio Underland on the News. Don't forget to check our live show tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Facebook.com. We'll be live streaming. We have a good show lined up for tonight. We have yesterday's Donuts punk band from Los Angeles coming in on the show. We'll be doing a lot of stuff. We're going to play another round of Am I the Asshole and some other games and fun and hilarity. The show that's much more funny than this serious news broadcast. That's tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The show will also be available on all of your favorite podcasting apps tomorrow morning. You can catch us on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podbean, whatever your podcasting preference is. Now, let's jump into the news. Bill Gates says he regrets Microsoft didn't make a more serious effort in the mobile operating system game. Google's Android now controls an 86% share of the smartphone market, and in 2017, Microsoft said it was abandoning its efforts altogether. How crazy is California? Well, this new insane bill proposed in California might give you a clue. A bill that lets inmates pick their gender and decide which sex they would like to be housed with. Bill SB 132 would increase the risk of violence and injury for one of the more vulnerable groups in society, incarcerated women. Here's what it is in plain words. SB 132 would do the following. It would allow any incarcerated male to claim that he has a feminine gender identity. Okay, so that's been going on for a while. Nothing wrong with claiming a feminine gender identity, but here's the kickers. This would give any such incarcerated male the legal right to be housed at a woman's facility unless the incarcerated male's perception of his own health and safety needs requires a different placement. So what this would do is it would force correctional facility staff to use language pretending that males who claim to have a woman gender identity are women, forbidding facility officials from considering anatomy, the presence or absence of a diagnosis of gender dysphoria, and the presence or absence of any other physical or mental health diagnosis. This would also forbid prison officials from overriding a prisoner's demand to be housed in a woman's facility unless the prison official meets the extraordinarily high bar of demonstrating in advance significant security or management concerns. So, for those straight males out there willing to be the hot cock in real life Orange is the New Black, let us know how it goes. It might be better pretending to be a female in a woman's prison than a wife in a male's prison. President Trump on Monday again denied assaulting a columnist for Elle magazine in the dressing room of a high-end clothing store more than 20 years ago, countering her explosive accusation by asserting that he would have never assaulted her because she's not my type. Mr. Trump said that Jean Carroll, who wrote for years for Elle magazine, was lying when she said that he threw her up against the wall and forced himself on her in the mid-1990s, and he insisted that he did not know her. I'll say it with great respect, he said in an interview on The Hill, a Capitol Hill news organization. Number one, she's not my type. Number two, it never happened. It never happened, okay? Coincidentally, Carol is releasing a new book. The Falcon Heavy rocket is carrying the cremated remains of 152 people into space. The space was booked by Celestis Memorial Space Flights, which sells orbiting coffins to folks, then books them on different spacecraft around the world. It'll be the 16th rocket load of dead ashes. An orbital flight costs you about $5,000. A deep space voyage or a trip to the moon runs customers $12,500. Good news if you're planning a vacation in Compton. The Crips and Bloods are trying to call a truce to violence as their gangs have made Compton more dangerous than ever, especially after the murder of Nipsey Hussle. Gang leaders have reportedly agreed to stay off each other's turf for now and make efforts not to shoot at each other. Sounds simple, doesn't it? A huge aquifer of fresh water has been discovered under the ocean floor just off the northeast coast. It stretches from Massachusetts to New Jersey, then another 50 or so miles into the continental shelf. On land, it would cover an estimated 15,000 miles. Other finds around the globe could be helpful in alleviating drought or providing fresh drinking water where it is scarce. McDonald's is reporting a 30% surge in sales of its iconic Quarter Pounder after using fresh, not frozen, beef for its patties. That translates to 40 million more burgers year over year. NBA legend Dikembe Mutombo has been enlisted to the CDC to record radio and TV ads to air in the Congo, encouraging precautions to stop the spread of Ebola. He's long been a philanthropist and activist for the Congo. 1,500 are dead in the most recent outbreak that began last August, the second deadliest on record. BBC exec Ann Sarnoff will take over as president of Warner Brothers later this summer, The Hollywood Reporter reports. She'll be the first female head of the studio and has previously worked for Viacom and as COO of the hugely successful WNBA. She's replacing Kevin Tishihara, who got the boot in the wake of sexual misconduct allegations. Calling all potheads, Oregon has too much weed. When the state legalized the drug in 2015, it handed out licenses to grow pot left and right. Now there's enough weed for 6.5 years of sales, according to the Oregon Liquor Control Commission. Now, the legislature is letting the OLCC determine how many licenses to authorize as a function of supply and demand. It's also permitted the state's governor to explore an import-export relationship for dope with other states. Good news for future contestants that are in training for the hit show My 600-Pound Life. 7-Eleven is out with a delivery program that brings any of its retail items to designated public hotspots for those who want a Slurpee but don't want to go to the store to buy it. There are 2,000 locations as of the program launch on Monday. Deliveries are made via the new 7 Now app. They're hoping to roll out to 200,000 delivery locations. No word if they will open your bag of Flaming Hot Cheetos and add nacho cheese sauce, but we are hopeful. Michigan State University researchers say that vitamin D has no impact on deterring heart attacks, strokes, or other serious health conditions. It had previously been believed that the heart episodes could be related to deficient vitamin D levels, but the research now concluded adequate vitamin D didn't show even a small benefit. A few more details are coming to light regarding the wife of Dog the Bounty Hunter, Beth. Beth was hospitalized over the weekend as a result of another breathing issue. A 911 call was made Saturday morning stating that there was a choking emergency at their Honolulu residence. Family sources stated the choking was in relation to her throat cancer. Beth is still in a coma, and her family members are reportedly rushing to be by her side. Her husband, Dwayne Chapman, also known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, is continuing to ask for continued prayers. Today's news is brought to you by Norco Tobacco, located at 2500 Hamner in Norco, California. Not only do they sell fine cigars, but they do sell vape products, vape juices, and organic CBD oils. Once again, that's Norco Tobacco. You can find them online at Norco Tobacco or Facebook Norco Tobacco. Carly Craig and Zachary Reiter got married Sunday in an intimate ceremony in Malibu, California. The American housewife actress and her hubby exchanged vows in front of 70 friends and family members, including Carly's stepsister, Mandy Moore. Left-wing writer Bill Press is deeply concerned that the Democratic candidates for the White House are forming a circular firing squad. Bill Press is warning the Democrats to get a hold of themselves in a new column in The Hill. The field is so big and unwieldy that they are inventing reasons to stab each other in the backs, a drama being helped along by the media. Bill Press comes to the defense of Joe Biden and defends him from accusations that he sought the votes of Southern segregationists in past campaigns. Biden is so old, the controversy stretches back to just after the landmark civil rights law was passed. Give Biden a break for his past action, Bill Press says. Segregationist. I mean, somebody's got to get their vote, right? In Supreme Court news, Neil Gorsuch joined Supreme Court's liberals to strike down a federal law on Monday. The case involved whether a federal law that provides additional penalties for people who use guns to commit crimes of violence is so vague that it's unconstitutional. Gorsuch and the court's left wing said yes. When Congress writes laws, it has to write statutes that give ordinary people fair warning about what the law demands of them. That's what Gorsuch wrote. Crimes of violence simply is not defined enough by Congress. The decision put him at odds with another appointee of President Trump, in a dissenting opinion, Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh said the decision would undermine public safety. Also in Supreme Court news, Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh is taking heat from fellow conservative Clarence Thomas for going weak on capital punishment cases. In the case Flowers v. Mississippi, Kavanaugh wrote a 7-2 majority opinion that overturned a death sentence for a case in Mississippi on the grounds that the jury and witnesses were all white and race potentially came into play. Clarence said that although the court's opinion might boost its self-esteem, it also needlessly prolongs the suffering of 4 victims' families. Drama is heating up as President Trump considers who should be his next press secretary. The newbie will have to take over the outgoing press secretary, Sarah Sanders, but among the half dozen or so people under serious consideration for the notoriously horrible job, rumors and accusations are swirling about everything from sex, vengeance, and even criminal behavior. One victim of the sharp DC elbows is Stephanie Grisham, First Lady Melania Trump's spokeswoman, including one rumor where she planned to fire a longtime ally of the president. Some people do anything to get verbally assaulted by a hostile media every day. In my opinion, Trump should revive his role as the apprentice ringleader and have these newbies fight it out in prime time. Everybody's been focused on the recent issues with Iran, but forget that. There's a new saber rattling by Russia, reminiscent of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Following a buildup of U.S. weapons in Europe, a Russian warship has sailed into the Western Hemisphere and docked in Cuba. Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov said the ship was sent as a direct message for the addition of American defense weapons systems near the Russian border with NATO allies. Of note, the ship sent to Cuba is no relic of the Soviet Union. It's part of a new class of ships designed to project Russian power much further than any previous Soviet battleship. The Cuban government greeted the advanced destroyer with a 21-gun salute. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, in a recent competition to see who can spend the taxpayers' money the fastest, offered competing versions of canceling student debt and making college free on Monday. Sanders went the furthest by saying his plan to slap new taxes on Wall Street would raise $2 trillion over the next 10 years and finance the plan to wipe away all $1.6 trillion in student loan debt. Meanwhile, he makes all public university, tech school, and community colleges tuition-free. Now, Elizabeth Warren's plan, on the other hand, is what passes for almost reasonable these days. She would apply income limits. She would cancel $50,000 in debt for those earning under $100,000 a year. While both harped and waxed on eloquently about the economic equality, neither one of them addressed bipartisan concerns that making lower-earning non-grads pony up tax dollars to pay off higher-earning college grads' debts. It's just back-ass words. So, even though they say that they're taxing Wall Street, anytime you hear the word tax, it's coming from the people of this country. It's coming out of your pocket. They can label it to something else, but it's still your money that's paying for this. So, I don't know. I would like to know what people think about this whole scenario. The number of Americans who say immigration is the country's number one problem has reached an all-time high. According to the new Gallup poll, 23% mention it among the biggest problems facing the United States. This is according to a poll released Friday. That beats the next highest year, which was 2018, when 22% put immigration among the biggest issues. Government remained the most mentioned problem identified by Americans, with 26% putting it in the category of biggest concerns. Don't forget that tonight, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the Radio Underland Big Show will be live on Facebook.com. Of course, it's .com, but we'll be live on our channel, or whatever you want to call it, on Facebook. Live at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Subscribe to us on YouTube, etc. And, of course, the audio will be available in your podcasting app tomorrow morning. Now on to showbiz news. Amber Smith opened up about how she was coping since losing her 3-year-old son, River, in a tragic drowning accident. In a social media post, Amber wrote, "I have this pit in my stomach constantly because I'm trying to make life as normal as possible for our other 2 incredible kiddos, London and Lincoln, while hurting so bad on the inside. The family recently tried to get back to their normal routine, which means traveling with their country singer dad and husband, Granger Smith." Bill Cosby, who is serving a 3 to 10-year sentence after being found guilty of drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand, has yet to be visited by his wife, Camille, or any of their 3 adult children. According to the Daily Mail TV, the only visitor Cosby has had is his spokesperson, Andrew Wyatt, who says the actor has adapted to life in prison amazingly. Cosby has received private messages from director Spike Lee and music mogul Quincy Jones. J. Cole, Travis Scott, and Kendrick Lamar are headlining a new music festival in Las Vegas. The 3-day event called Day in Vegas is being produced by Golden Voice and will be taking place this November. If you have a secret, don't tell Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil spilled the beans on Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas' upcoming nuptials in France. The couple, who are already married, posted photos all weekend at different French hotspots, sparking fan speculation their wedding will happen soon. Dr. Phil's big oops was when he commented on one of the couple's photos saying, "Easy now, 1 week to go. Ha, see you at the wedding." Clearly, the wedding is due to take place next weekend, and Dr. Phil scored an invite. Culture will be one blinged out baby as she turns 1 next month. Her mom and dad, also known as Cardi B and Offset, reportedly spent $100,000 on an extravagant piece of custom jewelry for their tiny tot. Cardi also revealed that she spent a whopping $400,000 on the festivities. Lindsay Lohan has signed a new record deal. The actress has reunited with music executive Tommy Mottola's Casablanca Records, the label behind her 2004 debut Speak and her 2005 album A Little More Personal. A source told US Weekly Lindsay is really excited to be working on the new music, adding she's eager to release something and would like it to be very soon. Well, for all of you wrestling fans out there, Ric Flair isn't going to let heart surgery slow him down. The WWE legend enjoyed a pint while out with his family just 1 month after undergoing heart surgery. While a beer may not be what the doctor recommends, the 70-year-old said he wants to live life to the fullest while he's still here on Earth. Ryan Reynolds wrote a fake review for his gin company, Aviation American Gin. After admitting to the joke, his mother said, "I knew it," adding she could tell it was him all along. Ryan acquired a stake in the company from Davos brand in February of 2018 after saying he loved the product. Chicago ABC's affiliate has acquired through an open records request the body cam footage obtained by police who responded to Jussie Smollett's apartment after he first reported the alleged hate crime committed against him. At one point, his manager requests that officers turn off the cameras, and they oblige. Fans want Keanu Reeves to be Time Magazine's 2019 Person of the Year. A petition on the worthless site change.org started 2 weeks ago has already hit over 70,000 signatures. It is unclear if Time is aware of the petition or not, but the publication typically announces their person in December. Kardashian fans went on the attack after Sunday night's episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which showed part 1 of the cheating scandal. Jordan Wood's Instagram was swarmed with nasty comments from many pissed-off fans, calling her a backstabber and home destroyer. Some even called her out for allegedly lying about the situation when she appeared on the Red Table Talk show. A lot of the blame was placed on Tristan Thompson, too, but unlike Jordan, no one was shocked about his actions. Today is Global Beatles Day, for all of you Beatle fans out there, and on this date in 2009, Michael Jackson died. He was 50 years old. More than 20,000 devoted fans showed up to a memorial at the Staples Center in LA, while 30 million watched from at home. In today's birthdays, we have Ricky Gervais, whatever. The comedian is 57. Sonia Sotomayor, Supreme Court Justice, is 64. And George Michael, the pop singer who died in 2016, was born today, and Anthony Bourdain, who was born in 1956, both past celebrities. Anyways, this has been Jake with the Radio Underland Serious News, where it's not funny, it's barely entertaining, but it gets you up to date on what's going on in today's world. Once again, tune in tonight for our live show, the actually somewhat sometimes funny show tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Facebook, just search Radio Underland. We'll be live tonight at 8 o'clock. And, of course, it will be available on all the favorite podcasting apps tomorrow morning for your drive to work. Tonight's special guest includes Yesterday's Donuts, punk band from Los Angeles. Should be a fun time. Bunch of kids coming in the studio. I don't even know if they're kids. I don't think they're really kids, but I'll find out how old they are tonight. Maybe they're part of this new wing of generation that believes that, 4 out of 10 kids believe that socialism is a good idea. We'll find out tonight. Radio Underland. Anyways, this has been the show for Tuesday, the 25th of June, 2019. See you guys later.